Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Druk's Malar Unboxing. Please hit the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen. And tonight I'm going to be talking about what's happening on Saturday night in the Big Apple in Madison Square Garden, New York. I'm sitting over here in South Africa. That place is definitely on my bucket list. Couple of things that I want to do still is see a fight in MSG as well as Las Vegas. Big fight in Wembley Stadium in the UK, as well as go to Japan for the fights there. But as I'm sitting here, I'll analyze it here from the chair that I'm sitting in. Now, there's a fight on this weekend that people mustn't sleep on. And I'm not talking about the headliner in Madison Square Garden. That's Terence Crawford against Egerius Kavaliauskas. I think at this point, although there's no reflection on Crawford, it's not his fault. I almost feel like if he's not fighting Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, then I'm really not interested. I want him to see fighting those guys. But on that card is a fight that I think is going to be has a potential to be a real barn burner, and I'm talking about the IBF Lightweight World Championship. The only man not named Lomachenko to call himself a world champion with one of the four major bodies is IBF champion, of course, from Africa. He's a native of Accra, Ghana. He's now based in the Bronx, New York, and that is, of course, Richard Commey. Now, he'll be fighting Teofimo Lopez. Now, Teofimo Lopez is undefeated. He's 14-0 with 11 knockouts. He's got the opportunity here to distinguish himself among a bunch of up-and-coming American fighters vying to be the next big thing. I mean, I think right now, for me, Terence Crawford is the best American fighter out there, followed by Errol Spence, just because of their body of work. And a lot of people will say Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder is definitely an exciting fighter. He's probably the hardest pure puncher in the world. Definitely the hardest American puncher. I think he's the hardest puncher in the world. But overall, his career resume doesn't match up to Crawford. But that's not what I'm here to discuss. The next generation, we've got lightweights Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and then also we've got Teofimo Lopez. Now, we will see if he is just a very good fighter or if he really does have the ability to become the next big thing. Because Richard Commey is not going to give up that IBF lightweight belt easily. He didn't just get it on a silver platter. Now, in 2016, he had his share of adversity. He lost back-to-back fights on close split decisions. One was his first world title shot against Robert Easter. And then right after that, he journeyed to Russia, took on Denis Shafikov, and ended up on the wrong side of a split decision. But he kept on going, he kept on winning, and this year it really came together for him. He knocked out Isaac Chaniev to win the vacant IBF belt, and he defended it by stopping the quite rugged and tough former WBO champion Ray Beltran in 8 rounds. So Commey can fight. Now, he's got a record of 29-2, only those 2 split decision losses, and he's got 26 stoppages. So he's a very heavy-handed, a steady pressure fighter kind of guy. Now he's got a good technique. He's got every punch in the book. He's got a good jab, and he likes his left hook. He goes both to the body and the head. When he's comfortable with an opponent, he likes to double that left hook to the body and to upstairs to the head, like he did against Beltran. And all the time he's kind of trying to maneuver his opponents into his right hand, which is his money punch. I think that's the best punch he throws. He throws it like a normal straight right, and also sometimes there's kind of a curve ball into that right, with just a little downwards curve on impact, sort of around, sort of almost of a loop. But that right hand, I think, is his most dangerous punch. Weaknesses, now, as we've seen in the Robert Easter fight, Commey has this sort of peekaboo defense, gloves held high, very tight defense. He does duck punches, but he's not super slick. So he can be hit and he can be hurt. We saw Robert Easter hurt him. The good point there that I saw is Commey had the wherewithal to hold Easter until the fog clears. So he can be hit, he can be hurt, and that's one thing. And another thing is, if I look at the Denis Shafikov fight, that's a fight that I'm sure Teofimo Lopez's handlers would have watched. If you are strong and tough enough to actually be able to make Commey back up, and he's forced to box off a back foot, he can do that quite well, but it's not his best style. I don't think he looks as good backing up. He becomes a little flustered. He definitely looks better to me coming forward. So if you can back Richard Commey up, then you've got a chance, because then you're forcing him to fight a style that is not his best style. And when he sits, he'll sit on those ropes with that peekaboo style, and the harder you attack him, the harder he attacks you back. It's these waves of punches flowing back and forth. And with a guy with that peekaboo stance, you know, you can go around the gloves with hooks and right in between the guard with uppercuts. Now that's where Teofimo Lopez comes in. He's a big puncher, and he's more of a stalking kind of guy. And what I like about him is his combinations are very fast and they're short, compact punches. He doesn't have a lot of air in between his punches, and he's accurate when he punches. Now he's been busy this year. He will be fighting for the 4th time on Saturday. Now he looked like $1 million knocking out Diego Magdaleno and Adis Tatley. Which made him seem almost like a formality to win on Saturday. But then his last fight happened, and they were saying sometimes you're only as good as your last fight, and that's always true. There's also such a thing as a bad day of office, and his last fight he took on unbeaten but unknown Japanese fighter Masayoshi Nakatani, and Lopez didn't look good in that fight. You know, he couldn't really overwhelm Nakatani. Nakatani had success in spots, using his height, using his reach advantage, and he landed the right hand there a couple of times on Lopez. Now Lopez is the kind of guy who subscribes to the saying, the best defense is a good offense, but that's not that he doesn't have any defense. He's got that, but he is hittable, and he likes to have a sort of a sideways stance. And he has got a kind of a shoulder roll, not nearly what Mayweather does, but he sort of rolls under the punches. But he can get tagged with rights, and if Nakatani tags him with rights, he's not a big puncher. But if Commey keeps landing that right hand money punch of him on Saturday night, it might well be that the wheels come off for Lopez. So he's going to have to watch for that. I think Lopez needs to stay close to Commey and move him back. If he stays at range, in the middle to the long range, that is where Commey can get the upper hand in the fight. So I think it's all going to boil down to which man can hurt the other and get the other guy out of his game plan. Now, I would suppose I'm not a gambling man, but Teofimo Lopez is a favourite among most of the bookies as far as I can tell. But I don't think it's a walkover fight for him at all. It won't surprise me if Commey scores a signature victory, but I just have a feeling if a guy like Robert Easter, you know, could wobble Commey, and if a guy like Denis Shafikov can force him on the back foot, my feeling is that Teofimo Lopez will be strong enough to make Commey move backward, and that he'll be able to hurt Commey. Can Commey hurt Lopez? We will have to find that out. We're not quite sure about how good Teofimo Lopez's chin is. He hasn't faced a guy quite like Commey yet. But if I have to make a prediction on that, my feeling is it's going to be an absolute war for the first couple of rounds. I think if we're going to go tit for tat, I think Commey will have his moments. He might bust up Lopez a little bit. He'll make him answer a gut check. But I think in the end, as these exchanges go, I think Lopez's punches are going to inflict more damage, and I think eventually he's going to stop a very brave Commey somewhere around the 9th round and become a new IBF champion. And then, of course, at lightweight, all roads lead to Lomachenko, and we'll see how that goes. But I think don't sleep on that fight on Saturday night. I think possibly the fight of the weekend to watch is Richard Commey against Teofimo Lopez, and I think it's going to be a great fight. So until I see you guys again, keep those gloves up.